I finally came to the conclusion, and this came after years and years of trying. This came after this came after different job searches, different trying new things, trying stuff I was qualified for, getting jobs I wasn't qualified for, just changing direction so much times. And now I finally came to grips with it that I wasn't made to work for anybody. I don't have a bad attitude, but it ain't no but. I don't have a bad attitude. I tend to challenge. If I'm right, I will challenge you. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to say I'm wrong. Do that get me in a lot of stuff at a job place? Of course it does, because, people who've been working a job for a certain amount of time and who've been working this job for years, they don't want to hear someone new come in and tell them anything. Like, even if it's right, they don't want you, because you're new, to tell them anything. But I'm the type of person who treats the janitor the same way I treat the CEO. Like, it ain't no difference. I value any time that anyone put in a job, because it's hard working for people. So from you work the job, I value the time you put in the company. But to say kiss your hip because you're a supervisor, or kiss your ass because you're a manager or CEO, I don't care about no job title that much. Like, I really feel sorry for people who worked a job for years and years and years and comfortable with their life, knowing that God have more for them, but they so comfortable that they're scared to make a move. Like, those type of people I'm sorry for. So I don't care about what your position is in the job. I've already made up my mind a long time ago that God have better for all of us, not only just me. But if you don't know that, that's okay too. Someone has to work at McDonald's. I love the coffee, and I value the people who work at McDonald's, but I found out that working a 9 to 5 isn't for me. Every job that I would go on, like, especially if I would have a woman as a manager or supervisor, they would, go out their way to try and make me feel bad. They would go their way to try, like, make me feel unwelcome. They would go their way to make it known that, I'm not better than people, and I never said that. But how I carry myself, you can see that I value myself, and I notice that ruffles up a lot of feathers, because when you're working with people who don't care about how they look, and then you come into a new place and, you look a certain way, you talk a certain way, like you're exotic or you're different, which in everyone different, but, you carry yourself in a way to let people know, like, you care about yourself. They coming for you even harder. Like, if you're a pretty girl, you're gonna get 10 times treated worse. Being pretty it's good, and it comes with bad things too. But I thank God that I was able, in all these years of working, I was definitely able to, get a backbone. Things what used to bother me doesn't bother me anymore. I've come to an understanding that, okay, LaShonda, someone who feels like they're less attractive, even though everyone's beautiful in their own way. If someone feels like they're less attractive than you, they're gonna try to make you look like you're stupid. They're gonna try to go out of their way to let people know then you're not who everyone think you are. And I have that problem with man and woman. It would be a man supervisor. He would be like trying to let me know who's boss. I know you're the boss. You've been here for 10 years. I'm sorry for you. I know you're the boss. But they want me to go my way to praise them for doing their job, doing what they choose to do for 10 years. Crazy. After the last breakdown with the last job, I came home, I prayed to God, and I said, God, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to go after what you want me to do so much that I'm not working no 9 to 5 anymore. It's not for me. And the for the longest, growing up on the islands, it's so hard to find a job that when you do find a job, your parents would encourage you, you better stay on that job. Like, I've had times where back home, I would get treated bad on the jobs. I was much younger, like my first job, 16, 17, and I would go to my mother crying, like, oh, I do not want to work this job. And she would say, it's hard, like, you better work a job, like, what else, like, it's hard to find a job. God bless you with this, you better make it work. But now, like, I would never let my children be in situations that people are going out their way, like women on the job, like, they don't even have to be my supervisor or my managers, because they wouldn't have nothing to say about me appearance wise or smell wise, because I always smell good. Like, I'm literally the best smelled person in the place. Like, trust me, everyone's gonna compliment me about how I smell, because, like, I mean, how to say this, scents would turn me on. I could get turned on by someone smelling good before I even see you. Like, if you smell good, like, that's something, one of my non-sexual turn on. So I take pride in always smelling good, and they wouldn't have nothing to say about me with my looks, or they wouldn't have nothing to say about me with my smell. So they would make up lies and say I'm a prostitute, or they'll make up lies, say, oh, she gets her hair and nails fixed a lot of mine, she must be liking a married man. Like, it's crazy. I heard stuff about myself where I never even thought about doing it before. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, like, they surprising me with the stuff they come up with. So I made this video to say this: God isn't punishing you. When you've tried everything you could on a job and it still ain't working out, God isn't punishing you. Those people aren't better than you. They aren't, like, all it is something spiritually going on, but all things work out for those who love God. So even in the spiritual battles with spirits on the job, because we're not battling against these people. Like, literally, the people who would hate me on the job, I've never even had a conversation with them. We never even talk. They don't even know what kind of person I am, but to hate me and to talk about me and to, try to bring me down, just know that God has bigger for you, and this might be your stepping stone to start your new thing. This might be just what you needed to push you into being an entrepreneur. So do not let no one treat you bad on the job. If your spirit is battling constantly with every job you go on, sometimes you could be the problem, because it was jobs that I was the problem, and when I try to switch it up and do something different, and I'm still the problem, and I try to, every other way I would try switch it on a new job, I'm still having the same outcome. It's time to do my own thing. And I pray for anyone today who's going through the same thing on the job. Know that God isn't finished with you yet, and it's never too late. And as soon as you trust him fully, to, like, when Jesus told Peter to cast his net on the right side, Peter, them who was fishermen, who've been fishing for years, I know they was like, the best side, they knew the best side to cast the fish, but they still listened, and they got so much fish. They got more fish than they ever gotten before, to where they could share the fish. So I say that story to say this, that listen to God, listen to your body. When you're not comfortable with something, your spirit is fighting something, stop it. Thank you for listening.